This will be fun because I love talking about baseball, and I'd like to welcome to the big round table here on the Morning Brew the general manager for the Albuquerque Isotopes. It's here, John Traub. And John, welcome to the Morning Brew.
Great to be here. Thank you, guys.
It's not the Morning Brawl, it's the Morning Brew.
That's good. We've had enough of the brawl. We can move on.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming down and be with us this morning.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. All right, Aaron, what do you want to know about the Isotopes?
So, a lot of people question, where did Isotopes come from? Now, I know the story, but can you tell us a little bit of how Isotopes came to be?
The name Isotopes is a great story because, you know, the baseball tradition here in Albuquerque was all about the Dukes and the Dodgers and a few other more conventional names back 100 years ago. Well, when this team was in the process of moving to Albuquerque back in 2000, well, we moved here for the 2003 season, but during the 2001 television season, at the same time that the team was getting ready to get purchased and move here, there was an episode of the TV show The Simpsons where the TV Springfield Isotopes were in the process of being relocated to Albuquerque to become the Albuquerque Isotopes.
Right.
So it is true that the name Isotopes came from a Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
And the public voted on it here. There were 5 names that were finalists, and the name Isotopes got 57% of the vote.
Wow.
In more than 150,000 ballots cast. So it was a slam dunk, and it's been a marketing slam dunk. I mean, it's been tremendous.
When the name first came out, I kind of went, really? Well, okay.
You're not the only one.
And it just seems to fit now. It just seems to make sense.
Well, it does. And, you know, it's really become such a popular name, not only locally, but nationally. Whenever I travel, and I do travel fairly often, I see Isotopes hats all over. And I remember back in 2003, first place I saw one outside of Albuquerque was in Disneyland.
Oh, wow.
And I approached the person, I said, "Why are you wearing our t-shirt?" And he said, "I have no idea. I didn't even know what the Isotopes were, but I'm a huge Simpsons fan, and you know, so they bought a shirt online or something, and you see them all the time now."
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And now we have Orbit. It was, you know, kind of go there, and it's really
Orbit
cool.
is the most popular mascot in minor league baseball.
That's what I've heard.
Yes. Last year he won a tournament-style competition, and was what a huge success Orbit has been, not only in this community, but, you know, he's really become the face of the franchise, thank goodness, you know.
And it's not you?
Yeah, very much. And I know that you haven't seen Orbit and me in the same room at the same time, but, you know, let me just tell you, we'll put those rumors to bed. I am not Orbit, thank goodness, but Orbit has really become synonymous with family fun entertainment at the ballpark, and he's such a lovable mascot that we're great to have Orbit as our ambassador.
He's a fun mascot. So.
A couple of weeks ago, you had your 6 millionth fan through the turnstiles.
Right.
I think the night was you only need some 550 fans to make that mark. I remember back when I was on the committee to bring back baseball, back those years ago, and I'm sitting on the radio doing the shows about, you know, I was really promoting getting a team back, and all these callers were telling me how it wouldn't work. You guys were wrong, 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 wrong. I told you so.
Yeah, it's the thing to do on the weekends
6 million.
now.
That's congratulations.
Thank you so much. 6 million fans in 10.5 years. We had high expectations coming in here. The most fans that the Dukes had ever drawn in a single season was like 370, maybe 390,000 fans. So we weren't really sure what to expect. Well, our first year, we had about 580,000 fans, and it has remained very consistent, very constant, and it has been a tremendous story. And the fact that, you know, numbers are kind of what they are, but if you hit a plateau such as or a milestone such as a 6 million mark in only 10.5 years, you know, you're averaging pretty darn close to 600,000 fans a season, which we have, and we're constantly at the top of the Pacific Coast League attendance charts and the minor league baseball attendance charts. Right now we're 3rd in our league, and we're having another great year.
Yeah.
Plus, the team's playing very well. We've won 4 in a row.
And that's what's really fun, too, is go watch a team and see them win.
Yeah, we're only a half game out of first place right now.
Not bad.
A lot of young, up-and-coming prospects. And half our team seems to be in L.A. right now,
It
trying to
does.
help the Dodgers and certainly representing the Isotopes up there. And the guys that we've sent up there, I tell you what, they've done a terrific job filling in some trying circumstances this year because of all the injuries and whatnot. But, we're about family, we're about fun, affordability. Certainly baseball is a part of that. And from the baseball side, our job is to get players ready to play in the big leagues, and we've certainly been able to do that this year too.
So can you describe the relationship you have with the Dodgers on a business level? Is it just baseball and the Dodgers? Business is separate.
Well, it's a very well-defined relationship, as is, and it's a standard relationship throughout minor league baseball and Major League Baseball. The professional baseball agreement says, hey, this is what the big league team does, this is what the minor league team is responsible for. But the Dodgers and the Isotopes have a very good, it's really like a family type of relationship. They bring us out to L.A. and include us in a lot of things that they're doing, and we do have a baseball relationship where we send players to the big leagues, they send players back to our club. But on the business side, I mean, they buy advertising in the ballpark. They donate tickets back into the community here. Their players, the players in the Isotopes uniforms, are actually under contract with the Dodgers, but they are so good about having those players in the community.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, Kim Stobick is our community relations person, and she is so proactive in getting the players out into the community, if it's hospitals or libraries or whatever the group might be. Our players have really stepped up, and in particular this year, it's been great. These players get out in the community because when they go to the big leagues, they're going to have to do that in L.A. or wherever they end up playing, and so we're very grateful for the players getting involved that way.
Yeah, and every once in a while we get to see Dodgers play at Isotopes Stadium. Well, I mean, what's the difference when we get those big leaguers and playing with the Isotopes?
Well, when they're here on Major League rehabilitation assignments, they're here to usually come back from an injury of some sort. And like Friday night, we had Chris Capuano, who's a pitcher for the Dodgers, start for us. And he was only going to go 4 innings or 75 pitches or something. And, it certainly brings maybe a higher interest level in the baseball side of it. Of course, back in 2009, we had Manny Ramirez here for
I went to that.
2.5 games, depending on your perspective.
That was crazy.
It was crazy. That was... when I decide to write the book about my career in baseball and all the various experiences, that one will certainly have a few pages of its own, because that was a really interesting time, because Manny was serving out a drug suspension for violating Major League Baseball's drug policy, and it was quite controversial. I mean, that other than orbit and our name getting us on the international map, Manny Ramirez coming here also perked some interest around the country.
Gave us a lot of attention, for sure.
Absolutely.
Your job is so interesting because you got to run the stadium too. You got to sell hot dogs and have ticket takers and
50-cent hot dog night tonight, by the way.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Yes.
Dinner time. But you got to do that, run the facility, and then you got to look in on the baseball side of it too.
Right.
Does the manager check in with you every day?
We have Lorenzo Bundy is our field manager.
Yeah.
Glenn Dishman is our pitching coach. Franklin Stubbs is our hitting coach, former Duke, former Dodger.
I remember him.
We really endeavor to have a very solid relationship with our coaching staff every year, because, we all work together. They don't work for me, I don't work for them.
Yeah.
But, it's a very cooperative relationship. We do need players to go out into the community.
Yeah.
We do baseball clinics. We want players to get involved. And the coaching staff and the team, they need things from the front office as well. So yeah, we check in with each other constantly about player moves, about travel issues, whatever it might be. So absolutely, it's a very good relationship, very strong relationship.
That's nice to hear.
It's very community oriented. You can go to the game, eat some Dion's pizza, local spots. So I love that.
You've been to a few games. I like that.
I've been to a few.
That's good.
I
Yeah.
one time hijacked Orbit's little car.
A little
Did you?
TLC truck.
I didn't know. I just took a picture to
just
make
borrowed
look
it for a
minute. He wasn't around.
So we've never seen you and Orbit in the same room at the same time, right?
No.
Wow. Don't want to start any rumors, but
The question from the crew is about your championship ring.
Yes. Right now it's at home.
Yeah.
But I do have a 2003 World Series ring from the Florida Marlins.
Wow.
When the Marlins won the World Series in '03, they were kind enough to give World Series rings to the owner and the GM of all their minor league affiliates. So phenomenal ring, and I wish I would have remembered to bring it this morning, but the thing's too big, and it would have needed makeup of its own just so that, I mean, this thing, it weighs about 1/4 pound. Okay, and it's a monster. The owner of the Marlins said, we're going to make the biggest World Series ring ever, the most gaudy World Series ring ever. So they did, and I do wear it with pride, and they don't come around very often. I've never won a ring at the minor league level with the club that I've been with, and only one major league affiliate in 26 years has actually made the World Series. And so I was fortunate enough to get a ring.
Maybe this year.
Well, you know what? I'd love to get 2 in 1 year. I'd love to get an Isotopes one, and I'd love to get a Dodgers one. But it's, you know, you don't get a lot of these World Series rings. There's not a lot of them out there.